Hello. So this is going to be a quick video, as quick as I can make it anyway, while I talk. It always makes it longer when I talk. How I play up my eyes with my everyday shadow that I use. So the couple of tools that I like to use, I'm actually going to explain those so that we know exactly what we're doing. I'm going to grab them in front of me. And this is just my eye. Normally I would do, my full face of makeup first. And as you can see right now, I have no makeup on. So we're just going to play up one of my eyes just so you can see the difference. And let me get a couple of my colors in front of me also. All right. Okay. So a couple of the brushes that I use for my shadows are here, and the first one that I use, I'll go over those as I use them as well, is the large eyeshadow brush. This is, I wrote these down, is number 7. And then I will go in and do blending in my crease area with the pointed blender brush, and that one is number 10. And then at the end, I will sweep across just underneath my brow bone to highlight, and that is with the angled shadow brush, I think. Yeah, it's angled shadow brush number 9. So those I'll go over as I'm applying them. The one thing that other tools that I do use are, this is a dual-ended eyeliner pencil. Right now I don't believe we have the dual-ended anymore, but they are coming back holiday time, so it's going to be a little bit, but I do have these two colors available. So I have the black here and the nude. I believe we call this the nude. I use the nude under my waterline here, and I use the black for lining here. You can also tight line with the black as well. This is a gel eyeliner. It is a pencil, so it will sharpen. You have to be careful because the gel is super soft, so some pencil sharpeners kind of muck it up. So the one that we do have available is really good for our eyeliner pencils because it doesn't muck it up and ruin them. So I just get it a little sharp, and I don't get it too very sharp because I don't want it to break off and lose it. The other thing that I use on my eye is the eyeliner pen, only if I want to do a nice wing. So I can do somewhat of a wing with the pencil, but not a really crisp, pointy wing. So that's why I need the eyeliner pen for that. And it actually, those are bristles, it's not felt. So those are small, tiny, fine bristles at the end. And it just has continuous flow of black liner coming out of it. It's wonderful, it works great. So let's, first of all, I will start with my eyeliner, nude eyeliner on the base of my eye. You can do, and the reason why I like to do this is because it makes the color pop a little more, especially on my skin tone, because my skin tone is not super fair. It does have a little bit of color to it, so in order to get that color down, because if the darker skin tone you have, the less likely you're going to see some pop of color there. So sometimes you got to tone that down just a little bit. It depends on the color you're using too. So you can use a concealer. So conceal your eye first. That's what we're going to do here. And I'm just going to put a little bit of concealer on with my finger and rub that in really good all around my eye, just to get a good coverage base color to start with. This is going to help that pop. And then a little trick that I learned, sorry about the dog, a little trick that I learned is to use the eyeliner pencil, the nude color, and go over that. Now this is also waterproof, so these are waterproof. They set after about 23 seconds, so you don't need a whole lot. You just kind of sweep a little bit across, and you don't need to gunk it up. And I just like to do it on the base and just smear that in a little bit just to blend. And you have to do that kind of quick because, like I said, it sets after like 23 seconds, and you'll have to get it off with makeup remover and stuff. I still had some on my hand. Okay, and then my nose is itching. You can set with your powder. So let me just put some translucent powder on. You don't have to do this, but I like to set with the powder. And now we'll get into the shadows. So my favorite shadows that I like to use, and you can tell by the way this looks as I use it all the time. It's kind of messy. These are my 4 shadows I use all the time. I don't always use this one here, so I didn't write the color down, but this is Peachy Gleam, and this is number 2 eyeshadow. This is a Taupe for the Best, number 40 eyeshadow, and this is Creamboat, number 38 eyeshadow. So those are the 3 main ones that I like to use for everyday look. I use the Peachy Gleam as a base coat. So I'm going to take my large shadow brush, number 7, and I'm going to pat the color on. And you can see the color really pops out. Even though it's a super light color, it pops out pretty good because I put that base concealer on first. And I do cover my whole eye. And the reason that I do that is you can see it's not super dark here. Like you don't see a huge pop of color, but you see more pop of color here because that's where I put the eyeliner, the nude eyeliner at too, so it could stick really good there. The reason that I put it on my whole area is so that it gives me something to blend with. So the next color that I use, I'll be able to blend with that a lot easier. So then I take my pointed blender brush, which is number 10, and I just swirl it in the middle of that real quick, tap off the excess, and this is the color Taupe for the Best, number 40, that I like to use for the crease. So I'm just gonna sweep it in the middle of the crease, and as you sweep it, you can kind of go in circles into your crease. Now your eye is gonna, where you put this color is gonna depend on your eye shape. So if you have more of a hooded eye, like I have somewhat of a hooded eye, if you can see when I'm looking straight, the top of this covers part of my bottom lid. That means I'm going to need to put some color up here above the crease so it can be seen when my eye is open. So that's the main reason. So, and I'm using a darker color because darker takes away and it gives depth, and lighter color brings forward. So that's the reason that I'm using these colors on my skin. And because I have like a greenish hazel eye color, sometimes they're green, sometimes they have a lot of yellow in it, sometimes they look blue, but depending on what I wear. I cannot wear like blues and greens for shadows. That's kind of why knowing what your eye color is really important to what shadows you use. So I just kind of blend it there. And if you think you need a little bit more dramatic, you know, get a little bit more on your brush and do it again. And I want to show you what this brush does on my hand. So it's really amazing. So I'm going to get a little bit more and do this on my hand. So basically what the bristles are doing, tap it off. It's a pointed blender. And as you can see, it's depositing color in the center while the bristles around it are, and as you move your brush, the bristles around it are blending for you. So that is the reason for the pointed blender here, and I just love this brush. It's one of my favorites, and that's it. That's all I do for that. And then I take my angled shadow brush, which is number 9. You can see it has a little bit of an angle on it. And I use Creamboat, which is a really light color. It might look white on the video, but it's a really creamy white, so it's not stark white. I should hold it next to my white powder and you could see the difference. And excuse the brows, they're not plucked right now, but you just kind of right under the brow bone to highlight. That is all I do. And it may not look like it may not look like much, but it really kind of just pops things. And you can put a little bit in the corners here if you want. Just blend, blend, blend. And there's a little shadow. So that's shadow. And you could leave it like this and just put mascara on and be good with that. One other tool that I didn't talk about that I do use for my eyes, I like to have my eyebrows pop a little bit. I do have some decent brows, but they're, you know, they're getting sparse over the years. This is one of our brow pencils, and this one is, I want to say it's medium. It's called number 2. I think it's medium. It's not telling me. It just says number 2. So, and it has a twisty up and down here. So you just twist it, and you can see it's going up and then back down. And then at the other end is a spoolie, so you can tame those brows. So we can just kind of brush the brows from the place that we kind of want them. And what I like to do is to look, get my thing back out, twist that up just a little bit, not too far, so I don't want to break it. I like this to look at this spot right here because I like having a line go to that and come down. I like that little peak or that point on my eyebrow. Your eyebrows are going to be shaped differently, so you're going to kind of look at yours and how you want to fill them in. I don't really care for this sparse area right there, so I just kind of draw a line going that direction ever so lightly, and it just kind of fills it in. And this does not match my eyebrows exactly the same color. I'm putting brown on, and the reason that I do that is because I found even though my hair is black there, using black actually makes it just so dramatic and so kind of Halloween-y look to me on my face. And so I didn't like it. So I went to like a lighter color, a brown, to mix in with my black hairs. And I found that that worked well for me. And you can just wipe this off. And this is going to be waterproof and last all day. And I just fill it in just a little bit, not too crazy. As you can see the difference there. So far, you can already see that my eye has opened up more than this one. And it's just from the shadow alone. It's just amazing what shadow does. So now we're going to do the eyeliner and then the mascara. And that's pretty much it. And it's super simple. So eyeliner that like I showed you before, I have my very favorite gel pencil eyeliner, and I also have my pen. Where did my pen go? My eyeliner pen. I don't use this a whole lot, but I do use it when I use wings, when I do the wings. So first of all, let's put this on. This baby is waterproof. It's not going to smudge or budge anywhere after it's set for about 23 seconds. I don't like to put a lot of black all the way to the corner here. I kind of start midway and go out more thicker. And I just kind of get a feel for it as I'm doing it. If I mess up, whether I'm feeling like I want to clean it up or not, I might just do a thicker line because I was like, oh, I don't want to clean it. So it's just kind of something you play with. I do pull my eye because I have always pulled my eye since I've been 16 years old. And I can't not pull my eye anymore. So if you don't pull your eye, that's a good thing. If you don't have to. But I think I got an eyelash off of my... I did. But the trick is to try not to pull your eye. But if you have to, you have to. My eyelids have gotten thin over the years because I am getting older. So it's hard for me to put a straight line on if I don't pull it. And as you can see, when I get closer to the corner, I get a little thinner. I go real thin and a little bit wider, thicker out here. And we'll clean that up in a little bit. So I could leave it like this and be perfectly happy with the look. But I sometimes take it a step further. And as you can see, if you're looking in my eye, there's a little bit of color from here to my eyeball. So if you pull your lid up just a hair, and then you can color up under your lashes, right under your lash line. This is called tight lining. And if you're not used to this feel, your eyes might water a little bit, but you can see the difference how that just brought it closer to my eye, and it's a little bit, gives it more dramatic, a little bit more drama, I should say. I'm going to leave that alone. There's a little bit of gunk that I'm not liking, but I'm going to leave it alone because I'm going to use the eyeliner pen to clean that up. And then let me cover that up really quick. I do use this on my waterline. This is not on the bottom. This is not necessary. Again, this is waterproof as well. The reason that I do this is I feel it just opens my eye up even more. It just kind of conceals a little bit of that redness there at my eye. Okay, you two stop. So if you have a little bit of redness there, this might work for you. But that's what I use there. Personally, I like it. So you gotta do what feels good for you. Oh, I forgot. Brow gel. I do put the brow gel in. This just helps my brows stay in place. It is waterproof. All its waterproofness. I think I'm gonna go swimming. All right, and then let's do the eyeliner pen and hope I don't muck this up. Wings are touch and go. You may have mastered the wing. I have not. I feel like I'm always learning the wing. Like it's always something different every time I try it. And sometimes I get it and hit the nail on the head, and sometimes it's just a big fail. So we're just going to see what happens here. But when you're doing a wing, the important thing is to not pull your eye first, to get that line drawn in first, and then you can pull and then kind of color in. And the reason why is because if I pulled my eye and then drew and then let go, the way that I pulled it is basically the way I'm drawing. So it might it might be like over here and you think it's like this and it's not. So a wing should start from visually, if you would think about your bottom water line, but don't actually draw it. And if you were to draw here and then start here and then just go up, that is where your wing should go. So I kind of followed that line, and that's the wing. Depending on how much of a wing you want or how big you want, you can go from there. So if I'm going to take it from there and I want to connect this to there. So we're going to kind of pull my line now and make it a little straighter. And as you can see, this is why I go to my pen when I do the wing, because you get that, you know, that dagger. That dagger. And you gotta go real slow so you can place it and make sure that you can see really well. And now the other part I want to clean up is here. Now if you can see, when I open my eye and pull it, it looks so different than when I'm like resting. So we gotta fix that. Beautiful. I was pulling a little too hard there. Yeah, that's my wing. So I hit the nail on the head with this one, thank goodness. I don't want to do it all over again. But, you know, for me, it's hit and miss. Like, sometimes I'll get it, and sometimes it's just like, what were you doing? You were pulling when you weren't supposed to be pulling. But the trick with that is to not pull your eye first. Just draw up a line, and don't draw too far, and just see how you like it. If you like it and you want more, go a little farther, and that's it. Last thing is my mascara, and this is my waterproof mascara that I am newly in love with. And when you pull in and out, you want to twist so you don't get air bubbles. If you get air bubbles in your mascara tube, that's just going to make it dry out sooner than it should. That's all. And you should replace your mascara every 3 months, regardless of how much you use it, because bacteria will start to set in. So I haven't had a chance to really play with the wand on this one yet, because the wand is different than what I'm used to on my other mascara. Look, I'm getting it down below too. That's okay, we'll fix that. Whoop. But the wand has a flat side, a bumpy side. It's really fun. So I'm excited about that. And you just gotta, when you're putting the mascara on, you really should start at the bottom and kind of wiggle up as you go up. That's hard to do for me, but that's what you're supposed to do. That's the best result. And yeah, looks really good in my mirror. Hopefully the camera is picking it up just as well. And just a little few splashes on the bottom, and I'm going to grab this over here because there's a little bit of hairs that I wanted to get. You see them? Hopefully I was close enough when I did that. So you can see my eyes look kind of green, and that's why the colors that I chose. I have a set of color choices for blue eyes, green eyes, hazel eyes, or brown eyes. So whatever color your eyes are, I got a solution for you. So that's pretty much my eye tutorial. Simple. It went a little longer than I would normally do. I mean, it took me longer than normally because I'm talking, but that would normally take me 5 or 10 minutes or less. So hopefully that helped. All right, thanks.